Do you cut your own wood?
No, I support my local woodcutter.
Great answer.
Did you say that you're all wood heat in your house? Or
Yep.
no? Wow.
Well, 90%. There's a little electric heaters in there, but
yeah.
I have wood heat in my garage and in my house. And I've planted hundreds of trees here.
Where are the black walnuts? You were going to show me.
There's 30 of them in this circle. These are all black walnuts.
Oh, okay.
These are all willows for basket weaving. I have a collection of basket willows that I use for weaving baskets, and I teach basket weaving. We also cut them and feed them to the rabbits for food.
Right. But do you dry the willow before you weave it? Obviously.
No. It's the baskets are, and all my wild baskets are woven green.
You said this is Dame's quarters?
Mm-hmm. It's a flower.
Wow, just a flower.
It's a flower with lots of
you got a lot of
pollinators and
veg down here, but your veg will die off when it freezes, right?
Yep, we don't harvest it to feed the rabbits.
Right.
So you did great. Yeah.
See, it doesn't freeze where I am, so that's just about to bloom. That's really pretty.
There's another color that is cleavers.
Cleavers, and that's is that wild or is that?
It's wild. Yeah. It's a medicinal herb.
What did you say this rose was? This is
That's
huge.
called the New Dawn. It's a climbing rose that that was created in the 1940s, right about the time the Delaware chickens were created. The New Dawn rose. It's out of the patent now, so you can propagate them and sell them. For those of you who do care about your eggs and your meat, you can raise your own chicken and hatch your own eggs. You can put them under a hen or hatch them in an incubator and make chicken tractors that pull around your yard. You're the rooster.
You were saying though that you have to be careful when you buy your compost. If you're not making your own compost for your urban gardens, because a lot of my audience is urban gardeners.
Right.
If you're not making your own compost, you should really be careful not to have chicken manure in your compost.
It's not the chickens, it's how the chickens are raised.
Right.
So you don't want to buy any kind of commercial fertilizers. You want to make your own.
Right.
Or go to somebody that has a local facility that is not using any commercial manures. These are feedlot cattle, feedlot chicken, feedlot hog, whatever.
Commercial chickens have had antibiotics and various things, and all that comes out in the feces, which is the manure.
Well, not only the manure, the guts, the blood, the feathers, all the byproducts, which is all in commercial chicken, all in organics. It's throughout organics. It's throughout everything. It's used on our land, and it goes into the air as dust when it's blown out of the commercial chicken houses.
Right, but
so that's why you have to investigate your supplier and know
and
what they're feeding their animals and how they're being raised. And
either grow it yourself or seek out a local grower who's growing it, whether it's vegetables, chicken, rabbit, whatever.
Well, that's what I keep saying is know your farmer, because and know where your compost comes from, what farm, who's making it. If it has chicken manure in it and it's commercially made chicken manure, then it's going to have all the things in it that they feed commercial chickens. So you want to be careful about, if you're going to the trouble to planting your own garden and you want your own lovely urban garden to have organic vegetables and you want to know what's in your food, you've got to know what's in your manure. Well, someone told me in Virginia that if everyone had 3 chickens in their backyard, there would be no need for confined animal feeding operations for chicken.
Absolutely.
For eggs anyway.
Or for eggs.
Yeah.
Well, you'd need a dozen and keep a rooster if you wanted to do meat.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. 2 chicken tractors, and you're not supposed to be eating chicken every day anyway. Once a week on Sunday's plenty. We're eating way too much chicken.
I was told that the pellets that they feed fish are made out of chicken parts.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
It's in everything.
It's like kibble. I knew a man who raised tilapia, in confined pools and stuff. And it looks like kitty food. It looks like kibble for cats. And they throw that out on the water, and that's what they eat. So it's basically made with the same industrial waste material. We have, our rabbits are fed certified organic rabbit pellets, and because alfalfa is now genetically modified, so if you want organic rabbit meat, you have to pay twice as much money to buy organic alfalfa. I do use a heater.
Oh, you do?
I do. In the dead of winter, but it's still minimal. We're working on harvesting weeds and grasses and drying them so we can wean ourselves of being dependent on buying commercial feed.
So you're drying stuff up here?
I'm drying
like what?
vetch and various grasses, chickweed, herbs.
I could have brought you all that vetch I cut out of my front yard.
These are racks that I use for starting my own seedlings. And the bottom, I eat out of all these tubs all winter, and now it's all going to seed. So there's many, many different seed crops in here. And flowers, and this is a citrus tree. And this is cardamom.
And you're collecting the seed from these?
I gather
when they go
seed.
To seed?
Yeah,
okay, this is how you do it?
seed.
Okay.
This is daikon going to seed, radish.
Right.
And then
beautiful.
these are, this is
your lettuce is just about to do the same.
This is escarole and escarole. That's escarole going to seed. You see how tall they get?
Yeah.
And that's celery going to seed. And
Beautiful.
various lettuce. I have a salad mix. And this is a whole collection of rare kales from a guy I traded with in Washington State.
All of
these different rare kales. Some of them are perennial kales.
Beautiful.
Oh, really? Some of them are perennial?
Yeah, some of them. He works with this whole network of growers who are experimenting with seed, and we just bartered with each other.
Yeah.
So we're doing a potato collection, which really excites me.
Which of these herbs do you make into tinctures? Because we haven't talked about your tinctures.
Well, I have one here that's called ashwagandha. It's a Ayurvedic herb from India, and there's these tiny little. It almost looks like ground cherries. These little husk, and they turn red, and that's the seed.
It's like a tiny little tomatillo.
Yeah, it's like a little teeny tomatillo, and it has a red seed inside. But it's actually the root of this plant that is used, and it's an adaptogen. It's really good for your immune system. It's called ashwagandha, so you can Google it and find out more about it. And so there's many. I have quite a few of those in here. And then I have cardamom, which, it's a little bit yellow from going through the very cold winter. I have a little electric heater that I put right here. So these plants that are really tender, like the citrus trees, they get through the winter.
Right.
And things that can handle the cold go into the further out.
Into the hinterlands.
Yes, and this cardamom, I don't know if you can put the smell on there.
I cannot put smell on here.
Smell that.
I wish I could.
Scented videos.
Scented videos. Oh, that would be great.
Oh, what did you say this is?
Cardamom. It's cardamom, and I sell it as a house plant, and I actually use the leaves.
Yeah, you could just use the leaves. You don't have to even.
Brulee with it. That is incredible.
Oh, smell that. Smell that. Can you smell that? Well, at least look at it.
It came from Monticello.
Can I eat it?
I wouldn't eat it.
Okay.
I wouldn't eat it, but I
flavor it.
Yeah, you could
I'll take your advice.
Yeah, I wouldn't eat it. Those are all pickle barrels from a local pickle factory.
Okay.
And then the planters are the pickle barrels cut in half, full of compost.
Okay.
But the pickle barrels, the full ones, are full of water.
Right.
And the heat, the sun heats it up, and that's how most of the space is heated here. It's a passive solar system.
Right. It allows you to grow year round without the need for electricity.
So you just keep the water sealed in the container?
It's been in there for 10 years.
Oh my goodness!
And if there's ever a grid
so you have a bunch of these.
I've got a lot of water.
Oh wow, that's what all these are doing.
Yeah,
keeping your greenhouse warm.
That's it.
Isn't that interesting?
So there's a lot of different herbs and things going on.
Give me something that I can actually taste. Something interesting.
Kale.
Well, you can.
Well, kale is.
Taste a piece of real celery. You won't taste celery like that in a grocery store.
And you said it
has more flavor than anything you buy in the grocery store. It packs a punch. It's got the force. It's got the force. I use it in a lot of my cooking. It is very strong.
Yeah.
Very strong.
Jeff suggested that you also have
This is a bay tree, and I make cuttings and sell babies.
These leaves are huge. Do you just take the small leaves?
Yeah, well, I take the large leaves and sell. These are bay leaves. Like if you go to buy bay leaves in the grocery store.
Once you dry them, they do shrivel down a little bit, so they won't.
Oh, okay. Because you know the bottle in the bay leaf is like smaller than this leaf.
Well, they do shrink. Just lay them out and let them dry. You know, they just dry nicely.
In the sun or something?
You can stick them in your pocket. They're supposed to repel bugs or whatever. Ooh, the bay is a beautiful houseplant.
And can you grow that in kind of a shady inside, or does it need a lot of sun?
Well, in California, you could grow outside as a shrub.
Oh, what is that?
That's lemon verbena.
Ooh, I'm growing that.
Yeah, that's.
Can I taste it?
Sure. There's two
lemon verbena.
Lemon verbena. There's one here and one over there. And this is a new herb.
Tea would be great out of that.
This is called jubilant. I got it from the Mountain Gardeners in near Asheville, North Carolina last year. It's a substitute very similar to ginseng.
Wow.
Only it grows rampantly like a vine, so it's not endangered or anything. But
do you make tea out of it?
You do. You use that as like a tea. And
we should try some tea today.
Yep. Well, I've just got them through the winter.
Okay.
This is the first time for me growing it. I will probably offer the cuttings.
What do you think of Sharon's gardens?
Oh, it's an inspiration. It's great to see a space where there's so many levels of gardening happening, from saving seed to you know, interesting varieties that you can't find other places, and she's a wealth of knowledge. So.
Which she shares freely. Well, I shouldn't say freely.
I
I should say you barter.
Well,
yes,
I do barter,
knowledge.
but I also give away as much knowledge as I can to anybody that'll listen.
Right.
I can't when
That's
people,
the thing, is like educate people. You got to get people ready to listen to the message, right?
well, they got to be ready before they talk to me. They got to be ready before they listen to me. It's a never-ending journey to learn. And I've been gardening for 50 years or more.
Do you still get excited about your discoveries?
I'm addicted.
discoveries?
I'm just addicted to gardening. I love it. This is the filet mignon of the rabbit, the back saddle. And this is how that goes together. This is the back of the rabbit.
And you bread it?
I bread it in my homegrown herb blend and flour, and fry it in olive oil.
Until it's done, or do you bake it or
No,
finish it in the skillet?
Yeah, I brown it on either side and then add milk and turn it way down and simmer it for about an hour till it's really tender. And then tonight we're going to put bone-sucking sauce on it and barbecue it after that, along with the ribs. But
I don't know if I've ever had rabbit.
Well, it'll be a first.
I know.
That's
why I'm here, for a lot of firsts.
Very little fat. It's just like the breast meat of a chicken. So there's no dark meat. It's all white meat and hardly any fat at all. Rabbits are herbivores. They don't eat meat. Chickens eat meat. They are omnivores. So are pigs. So are human beings. So rabbits eat a vegetarian diet. And they are very domestic rabbits are all white meat and like chicken breast in taste and in versatility.
And your rabbits only eat wonderful things like, what was that vine that
we feed them certified organic non-GMO pellets, and we are weaning them of that even and trying to grow all our own hay and grains for them.
You said you're planting alfalfa? Or
We're
planting wheat?
We're planting a lot of things. We're planting oats, we're planting a special wheat, we're planting whatever we can, but I'm also planting alfalfa and clover, and we also harvesting a lot of wild weeds, and we feed them honeysuckle and willow and many wild plants from the garden.
What's their absolute favorite thing to eat?
They like honeysuckle. They are eating the heck out of the honeysuckle. And it's an invasive vine all over the place here.
All right, we're going to give this rabbit a try. Wow, that's good.
Of course.
Tastes like chicken, right?
Tastes like chicken. Only vegetarian, not omnivore.
It tastes like chicken, but more juicy and tender and like breast meat of chicken, but more.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's interesting.
I think I need an alpine strawberry to get the taste of that celery out of my mouth.
Well, they're all outside. What did I say? I forgot what I said. Enough?